Hello YouTube, this is Sidekick and thank you in advance for watching my water healing tutorial. First, let me say that water healing is probably the most versatile and unique healing power in the game. It's also, in my opinion, the best healing power. Some of the reasons why I believe this are because it has a power that allows you to immediately reset the cooldown of the last power used, and it has a non-supercharge 8-man shield. The resetting power is called Riptide, and the non-supercharged 8-man shield is called Tempest Guard. Before I get to my Elite Raid solo healing loadout, I'd like to first talk about my balanced loadout. I want to talk about the balanced one first so that you have an understanding of what you are sacrificing when you are using the Elite Raid solo healing loadout and what you are gaining. This is important because then you can decide for yourself if it's worth the sacrifice. This balanced loadout can be used effectively in most, if not all, content, even elite raids, but I don't usually like to use this one to solo heal elite raids. The loadout consists of 2 burst heals, 2 heals over time, and 2 group shields. The reason this loadout is so effective is due to the balance between the 3 methods healers use to keep people alive. The burst heals are the priority heal, which heal yourself and one other most injured groupmate, and the 4-man burst heal, which heals yourself and 3 other most injured group members. The 2 heals over time are actually 1 heal over time, AoE, power that you reset and reapply by using Riptide. The last part of the balanced loadout consists of what makes water the best healing power in the game, the shields. In this part, there are 2 shield powers. One is the 4-man shield every healer is familiar with, and the second is an 8-man non-supercharged shield. The 8-man shield is somewhat weaker than the 4-man and lasts half as long. But that's the trade-off for being able to put up a roughly 30 to 30k damage shield on your whole raid group if you're 240 CR. Admittedly, the 8-man shield isn't as good as the 4-man shield, but its value is shown best when you want to protect the whole raid group from a boss's skull attack, if it's the type that hits everyone, and especially if you are running with DPSs that don't know how to block. Another thing about the 8-man shield is that it doesn't block all damage, only 70 to 80% or so. Okay, now I'd like to talk about how I use this loadout. I don't really believe in rotations when healing, but you do end up having a kind of rhythm with your powers. Some people like to continually apply double Solace of the Seas, the HOT AoE, and then just alternate their shields. I prefer to start with the 8-man shield, followed by Riptide to reset it, then 1 Solace of the Sea, followed by an immediate 4-man shield. Before I started soloing elite raids, I used to wait till the second 8-man shield went down before using the 4-man shield. But I later became aware of the awesome protective power of having 4 of your guys with a 35k damage shield and a 55k damage shield on them simultaneously. I used to think this was overkill, but with the accelerated bubble tactical mod, the 4-man shield is only down for 4 seconds if you use it as soon as it's available. And most of the time, everyone is shielded with the 8-man shield during those 4 seconds. Also, in the elite raids, 70k to 80k hits are not uncommon. Just think of the tentacles in TTBE. Back to the loadout. After the second 8-man shield goes down, Solace of the Seas and Riptide become available again, so you can double up on your HOT AoE. Soon after, you'll see that the sort of rotation can start again with the 8-man shield. Burst heals. During the entire time you are using the shields and Solace of the Seas, you should be keeping an eye on the health bars for anyone who needs quick burst heals. Water is not very power hungry, especially if you built your character with power consumption in mind, so feel free to clip away. Clipping the priority heal with the 4-man heal heals 2 people first, followed by 4 people, and the priority's short cooldown makes it available immediately after the 4-man heal is used. So in a way, it's a 3-power clip if you use it again after the 4-man heal. Although this all gives you a decent ability to quickly get everyone's health back up, I still prefer the massive burst heal capabilities of my Elite Raid solo heal loadout. Now I'd like to talk about my Elite solo healing loadout. This loadout came from a need to increase the speed at which I refilled everyone's health bars after they were hit very hard. This loadout is a bit more power hungry than the balanced loadout, but only for very small periods of time, since you are completely filling everyone's health bars, even the tanks, and are also shielding them. I usually take a soda after big burst heal clipping anyway, so many times the troll won't even notice. This version of this loadout is actually an improved version of an older one, and that older loadout was good enough to allow me to solo heal the last boss of Spindrift Station, Elite, on the first day of that DLC. I was 229 CR at the time, and so was everyone else, except for one guy who was 218 CR. I have to admit though, those guys were very, very good players, but I think it's still a reflection of how good water healing really is. Okay, now let's get to the current loadout. This loadout consists of the priority heal, the 4-man burst heal, the 8-man burst heal, Riptide, which is the cooldown reset power, the 8-man shield, and the 4-man shield. Now you're probably thinking, where the hell is Solace of the Seas? Well, that was the sacrifice I made for being able to immediately, completely fill the health bars of 8 guys who are about to wipe, and shield them so they can have a chance to survive. If you're ever asked to solo heal an Elite Raid, your mentality must be different than it is in a 2-healer situation. You are alone and solely responsible for the group. There is no margin for error, you cannot die, you cannot allow people to stay at 20, 30, or 40% health for more than a millisecond, because that next hit will kill them. So now how do I use this loadout? There really is no rotation to this one, and the shield usage depends on what raid you're doing. If you're in a raid where the boss has a skull attack that hits the whole group, then you want to save one 8-man shield for it, and prepare to clip burst heals afterwards, if necessary. If the boss does his skull attacks frequently, like in Spindrift Station Elite, then that's when resetting the 8-man shield with Riptide becomes very useful. If the boss doesn't behave this way, then use the shields the way that I use them with the balanced loadout. 8-man shield into Riptide, then 4-man shield, then 8-man shield again when the first one expires. Now, my favorite thing about this loadout is its massive burst heal capability. As you can see, I put all 3 burst heals on the left side of the loadout, followed by Riptide. I basically clip from left to right and decide how many heals to clip depending on how bad the group is doing. So if one guy is hurt, I obviously use just a priority heal. If 2 to 4 guys are hurt, I clip the priority and the 4-man heal. If more than 4 guys are hurt, I'll use the 8-man burst heal. If one guy is hurt badly, I'll clip heal the priority and the 4-man heal. If 2 to 4 guys are hurt badly, I'll clip all 3 burst heals. Now here's the best part. If 4, 5, 6, or 8 guys are hurt badly, I'll clip powers 1, 2, 3, Riptide, then 3 again. In other words, the priority, which heals you and another most injured, the 4-man, which heals you again and another 3 most injured, then the 8-man heal, burst heal, which obviously heals everyone, then Riptide resets the 8-man burst heal, which you can then hit again immediately, which makes this a 5-power clip with 4 burst heals that heal 2, 4, 8, and then 8 people again. Many times the tank gets 4 burst heals, which even with the tank's high health usually fills his bar instantly. One of the drawbacks of this loadout is that with earth tanks, the lack of Solace of the Sea can be a problem if the tank is not comfortable without an area of effect heal that heals his pet. Most of the top earth tanks I have played with have told me it's not a problem with them though. If you care about your scoreboard healing numbers, this loadout isn't for you because the lack of NPC healing Solace of the Seas will hurt your numbers. But if you are solo healing, no one will notice. If you are encased in an encasement of the type that you can't break out of immediately, the lack of an AoE heal might suck, but that can be remedied by using an alternating shields while encased. You can also use Exabyte Interference Shield consumables to heal the group a bit. Finally, one of the benefits of this loadout is that since you don't have to use powers constantly, like setting down Solace of the Seas, you can choose not to attack and hold block for most of the raid. This is useful in places like Escape Elite where damage can come from anyone at any time, especially Owlman and Johnny Quick. And now to wrap this up, I'd like to say thank you for watching this video and I hope you have gained something from my experience. I probably forgot to mention something, so feel free to leave a comment and I'll get to it ASAP. Thanks again.